At this point, I just feel bad for Benoit Saint Denis. Once seen as a rising force in the lightweight ranks, he now steps into the octagon with his future hanging in the balance. People were saying that he was up next in the lightweight division, and many people picked him to beat Dustin Poirier, one of the best fighters to never win a belt. Unfortunately, at UFC 299, Benoit got knocked out in the second round, and it was a bad loss, but many people thought that he could slowly build himself back and make a name for himself outside of the top 5. Unfortunately, again, in a fight night that he headlined against Moicano, Benoit Saint Denis took another brutal loss, arguably worse than his loss to Dustin Poirier, because he almost had no success against Moicano and he got his face butchered by ground and pound in the first round. And he was tough enough to try and rally back in the second round, but unfortunately the fight was called off due to a doctor's stoppage because of a huge cut above his eye. And this loss really marked the end of the hype behind Benoit Saint Denis, and I think his career might have turned out differently if he didn't take such a steep jump in competition. He went from fighting Matt Frivola, a fringe top 15 lightweight at the time, to arguably a top 5 lightweight of all time in Dustin Poirier, back to back of each other. But now at UFC 315, Benoit Saint Denis will be facing one of the most violent finishers currently unranked in the lightweight division. And in this video, I'll show you guys why Joel Alvarez may be the executioner sent to end Benoit Saint Denis' run swiftly and without mercy. So my first reason why I believe that this fight is going to be a massacre in the favor of Joel Alvarez is because of the size and the striking. Joel Alvarez is a massive lightweight. He has a 6'3" frame with a 77-inch reach. We're talking bigger than fighters like Jalen Turner. Like, he is massive for the lightweight division. He has a massive frame, and he uses that frame so well to set up his combinations, and his frame towers over Benoit Saint Denis with a 5'11", 73-inch reach. And when Joel Alvarez uses that massive frame, this gives him all the tools to keep Benoit Saint Denis at bay and land devastating long-range strikes. And his long limbs, those are going to be priming him to land those huge knees in the clinch, huge elbows, and those long, rangy, straight punches. Now, my second reason why I believe that this fight is going to be a massacre is because Joel Alvarez, he has some of the best finishing instincts in the lightweight division, period. I'm talking like the whole lightweight division. He can find a finish in almost any moment in the fight. He has a crazy finish rate of 100%. 100% of all of his wins are finishes. Now, he's not undefeated. He took some tough losses coming up in the UFC. I believe he lost his debut, and he lost to the best, though. He has a loss against Arman Tsarukyan, who is probably going to challenge for the lightweight title soon. So he's not losing to scrubs. He's losing to the absolute best in the lightweight division. But anyways, all of his finishes, most of them, they came in the first 2 rounds. And if Joel Alvarez, if he smells any type of weakness, any type of fatigue in his opponents, he's going to swarm them and he's going to finish them. And against a aggressive opponent like Benoit Saint Denis, who often marches forward, we all know that people describe him as a marauder. And when you're a marauder against Joel Alvarez, someone who has that massive reach advantage, you're going to pay for it. And Joel Alvarez, he can capitalize on openings with his sniper-like counters, his stepping knees, and he can end this fight violently and brutally. In Joel Alvarez's last fight against Drakkar Klose, he finished the dude in 2 different ways. He knocked him out cold on the feet with a jumping knee, and he transitioned to a one-arm standing guillotine where he rained down multiple strikes to the head. And I believe the ref, he didn't even know that Drakkar Klose was knocked out from that flying knee in the first place. So Joel Alvarez, he landed multiple unanswered strikes to the head of Drakkar Klose, and when he let him go, Drakkar Klose was knocked out cold. And that fight, it shows Joel Alvarez's tenacity in the cage and his ability to keep seeking out those finishing sequences. Now, my third And my final, and I believe this reason is the most important reason why I think that this fight will be a massacre in the octagon. And it's because Benoit Saint Denis, he wears damage really bad on his face, and he's very vulnerable to damage as well. While he is a very tough fighter, we saw that when he fought Moicano, even though he got absolutely butchered and brutalized in the first round, he still went out there in the second round and tried to rally back. He had some success on the feet in the second round, even though I do think that Moicano, he kind of like took that second round off. He was kind of coasting through it. But Benoit, he still tried to rally back in the second round, and it was stopped via a doctor stoppage. So it's not like he got totally TKO'd. He did get brutalized in the feet. And that's coming back to my point right now, which is about the amount of damage that he wears on his face. Throughout BSD's career, he has shown that he wears and he eats a ton of damage. In his debut against Alezu Zaleski, he fought a tall, precise striker just like Joel Alvarez, and he took a lot of damage in that fight. And he lost his debut in the UFC, even though that was in the welterweight division. So I don't really hold that against him in his career at lightweight. But anyways, he took a lot of damage in that fight, and he wore it a lot on his face. And when you're dealing with someone like Joel Alvarez, and let's be honest, Joel Alvarez, he could easily fight at welterweight. And Benoit Saint Denis, if he walks into those types of clean shots that he did against Alezu Zaleski, then that is going to lead to another butchering on the feet. It could even result in a vicious knockout. And we know that Benoit Saint Denis, he's capable of getting knocked out as well. Obviously, Dustin Poirier did that at UFC 299. But I believe that Joel Alvarez, he won't just knock out Benoit Saint Denis clean. I think that Alvarez will brutally TKO BSD. And for a final prediction on this fight, I have Joel Alvarez winning by a second round TKO. And I think that he's going to TKO him on the cage in the second round.